So this is a map that I created that I have utilized my skills in design and in handling of complex, large amounts of information and figuring out how to simplify it and how to make it more digestible. And I wanted to use this as a way to help people who are interested in this subject to keep track of something that's quite dense. And the other aspect to this is that it relates to my series, A Practice of Freedom, where I'm writing about our relationship to power and how power can be negotiated with, how it can be navigated, and how it installs itself in our minds and in our bodies through learning environments. This series is focused on learning environments. My last series was focused on the modern workplace and how we navigate our workplace institutions and our working lives and how that relates to power. So if that sounds interesting, go check it out. But for this series, I wanted to have a living piece of work that we can reference back to as I go through this idea of power and learning. And I wanted to use this database as a ongoing series where we'll pick one name from this constellation of people and we'll just have a look at what was their relationship and proximity to power, what sort of experiences that led to for them, and what consequences they faced as a result of those relationships. And so I'm going to go one name at a time, exploring each of those points. As you can see from the website, these all link back to specific documentation and references. So if you're curious about where I pulled the information from, it's all available in the website. And if you're curious at all about the status of any of these people, did they face any legal consequences, prosecutions, incarceration, anything like that, we're going to go one name at a time and see what has happened for each of these individuals. So starting off strong, I'm going to start here on the left, and the first name for this series is going to be, let's go with this guy here. Okay, so here we've got Alexander Acosta, who is the U.S. Attorney for South Florida. He then becomes Trump's labor secretary. In 2008, his own prosecutors build a 60-count federal indictment, and he signs a deal that gives immunity instead of listening to that indictment. So not just to one man, he gives immunity to a bunch of unnamed co-conspirators and people who are never charged, never named in an open court, and never have to answer for anything. The victims were not told that this deal existed, so that violated the Crimes Victims Act, and he later tells his colleagues that he was told to back off because the man at the center of the map belonged to intelligence. He then resigns in 2019 as labor secretary, and this is because the Miami Herald has reported about this entire story. And the DOJ reviews his conduct and finds that there's poor judgment. That was the official consequence for the decision that protected most of the people that are on this map. And the document references here at the bottom, you can see it. And if you want to go into the Courier newsroom pinpoint, you can just open this green button here and it would take you there. That will have any other additional files or references that he's mentioned in. So yeah, he's kind of like the starting point for a lot of this, and he kind of sets the stage for why so many people get away with zero consequences. And really the only consequence he faced was just resigning from his job. I assume he's employed now, but that's not part of the map. So that's our first character in this series. If you follow me, I will be exploring each name that appears in this list, and you probably know some of them and you probably don't know others. So if that sounds fun for you, follow along. I'll be doing one person per day. You can also read and check out the Island Ledger yourself. It's linked in my link tree.